89956. One of the big stories doing the rounds today, an official from the United Arab Emirates categorically now denying that a Wolverhampton man was arrested in Dubai for wearing a Qatar football shirt. Ali Issa Ahmad is said to have been unaware of a law against showing sympathy for Qatar, which was brought in amidst a diplomatic dispute between the countries. The UAE embassy in London said Mr. Ahmad has been charged with wasting police time and making false statements. Mr. Ahmad's friend, Amir Lockie, told the BBC his friend was arrested after watching a game between Iraq and Qatar.
He contacted me on the 30th, telling me that he was arrested. He said from Al-Sharjah police station, he said that he went to watch a football match between Iraq and Qatar and Dubai. And after he left the stadium, he followed by a couple of people and they assaulted him and they took away his t-shirt and then he went home. And then afterward, he went back to the police station to report the assault and then they held them in the police station. My understanding, he wasn't aware of all these things. He was just a person who loves sports so much, and he knows that Qatar hosting the 2022 World Cup, so that's why he just went to watch the football. But I don't think he knew that he can get into problems wearing a t-shirt or supporting a particular team.
That's a friend of Ali Issa Ahmad, who's in jail at the moment in Dubai. Let's go and get the thoughts of Ghanem Nuseibeh, who's an analyst at Cornerstone Global, a Middle East commentator as well. Ghanem Nuseibeh, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Paul.
The UAE and Qatar, they have had sort of no diplomatic relations for 2 years now, but what's the context behind this? Is he in jail for wearing a Qatar football shirt, do you think, or not?
I don't think so. I happen to have been in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago when the match was being played. It was not in Dubai, by the way, as the previous interviewee said. It was in Abu Dhabi. There were several thousand fans of Qatar wearing the Qatar t-shirts. As far as I know, none were arrested. So I think this is a man who was wearing a Qatar t-shirt, who was arrested, not for wearing the t-shirt, but he happened to have been wearing the t-shirt. Now, because of the tense situation, I mean, this is all analysis, because he was wearing the t-shirt supporting Qatar has a lot of, it's not on good terms with the UAE. He might have been involved in a fight which ended him up in jail, but he would not have been arrested for wearing a t-shirt. As I said, there were thousands of fans wearing pro-Qatar t-shirts during the matches.
Yeah, so why isolate one person out of several thousand? But the UAE, the embassy in London, saying he's been charged with wasting police time and making false statements. So what do you glean from that?
Well, again, it points to the fact that he might have been involved in a fight with someone, perhaps, who did not like the fact that he was wearing a t-shirt. He seems to have gone and walked himself into a police station, made a statement, and the laws there are, you can't just waste police time. You'll be reprimanded for that, and that's why he has been arrested, as far as the UAE authorities are saying. So he broke the law in that he wasted police time, not in wearing a t-shirt.
Is this going to take international political wrangling between Britain and the UAE to resolve this, do you think?
I don't think so, and I hope not. I think he'll be released soon. I mean, again, I don't know the details of the case, but I think the important thing here to note is that this is a region, the Gulf in particular, not the UAE and Qatar only, that is, the laws there are simply not compatible with what would be expected, for example, of a host for a FIFA World Cup 2022. And I'm not saying only Qatar, but the whole of the region, where people who might be used to certain rules and norms and so on, going to Qatar 2022, they'll find a region that is simply not attuned. The laws, local laws, are at variance with what would be expected from a host of a FIFA World Cup, and I think the question marks will remain. The laws over there are still as they are and have not been changed as they should be, or as they promised. Yesterday, for example, only we've heard Amnesty International saying that the labour laws in Qatar have not been updated as has been promised to FIFA. So there's a lot of legal laws that need to be updated before the country, before Qatar is able to host 2022.
Yes, it's an interesting point. I mean, we've got one arrest here, but when the World Cup comes around in 3 years' time,
yes,
then potentially there's a lot that needs to change to have a smooth World Cup there by the looks of things.
Absolutely. I mean, the laws there are simply not as one would expect from FIFA. People there will be breaking laws if the laws are not changed, and if they break laws there, are they going to be arrested? Are the Qatari authorities, well, they certainly have the legal right to arrest those people who might be doing things perfectly legally in, for example, the UK, even Russia last year in 2018. But in Qatar, they would be breaking laws if they did, and it'll be at the mercy of the Qatari authorities on whether they arrest them or not. And that is a very important point that Amnesty International raised yesterday, that the laws in Qatar have not been updated as has been promised. And until that happens, I think it's not a safe place for normal fans to attend such a global tournament.
We'll see what happens over the next couple of years. Ghanem Nuseibeh, who's an analyst and a Middle East commentator. Ghanem, good to have you on the show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Travel for the West Midlands on BBC WM 95.6.
We have to travel every 15 minutes.